Today was the martyrdom, or the day that one of the Infallibles was killed. Her name was Hadhrat Fatemeh, and she was the mother of the 12 Imams. So I thought it would be best to dedicate tonight's video on her to her. So if you have paid attention, I used the two terms Imams and Infallibles now, and I indirectly explain the difference. So the Infallibles are 14 in number, but the Imams are 12. And so this means that, for example, the first Infallible is the Prophet of Islam, Prophet Muhammad himself. And the second Infallible is his daughter, Hadhrat Fatemeh, who is the mother of the Imams. Now, the first Imam was Imam Ali alayhi salam. Imam Ali was Prophet Muhammad's cousin and the husband of Hadhrat Fatemeh. So Imam Ali alayhi salam, who is the first Imam, is both the cousin and the son-in-law of the Prophet of Islam, Prophet Muhammad. So the rest of the 11 Imams are all the children and descendants of Imam Ali alayhi salam and Hadhrat Fatemeh alayhi salam. Now, today, as I said, was the martyrdom of Hadhrat Fatemeh. I say martyrdom because she was as well killed when she was only 18 years old. Who was she? In short, to tell you a biography of her, she was born, first she was Prophet Muhammad and Khadijah, her mother's name. She was their only child and their only daughter. And a Prophet's sons from Khadijah all died when they were young. And she was born in 19th of November, 614. And it was on the 5th year after Prophet Muhammad was assigned as a prophet by God. Her childhood was, she faced so many difficulties and misfortunes during her childhood because in the early years that Islam was introduced and Prophet Muhammad was assigned as a prophet, the Arabs and their families and their friends, they all turned against them because they couldn't accept a new religion and a new thing among themselves, or a new prophet, or this kind of big change. So during their first years, and Prophet Muhammad was made to migrate from Mecca, the place where he was assigned as a prophet. He was made to migrate from Mecca to Medina, and his family had to live with him. So this happened when Hadhrat Fatemeh was only 8 years old. And she lost her mother when she was only 5 years old. And after their migration to Medina, they again had many difficulties because the city was new and they had to cope with a new situation, and it was a totally new place for them without houses. So I will dedicate another video to Prophet Muhammad and the difficulties that they had. But during all these years, Hadhrat Fatemeh was alongside her father, and faced all those difficulties and witnessed all those cruelties and hostilities. When she was 9 years old, she got engaged to Imam Ali alayhi salam, who was then a young lad, and he was the first. Imam Ali alayhi salam was the first to believe in Prophet Muhammad's new religion and supported him and defended him in the wars. So their marriage caused jealousy among many of Prophet's friends and families, because as the only daughter of the Prophet, everybody wanted to marry her. But instead, Prophet engaged her to Imam Ali alayhi salam, who was then a poor guy. The marriage ceremony was held on the second year of Hijri, and they had 4 children, 2 sons and 2 daughters. And the sons were the second and third Imams, Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And the 2 daughters were called Kulthum and Zainab alayhi salam. And whenever Prophet loved her daughters so much, to the extent that he had transferred many verses that had been revealed to him to his followers, that God Himself had said and had somehow commanded that whoever bothers Fatimah or annoys her or angers her is as if he has angered me or annoyed me, or whoever that is kind to her is as if she has been kind to me. So Prophet loved her so much, both because God loved her and because it was his only daughter, especially from Khadija, who was the wife he loved so much and who he had lost quite early. So somehow Hadhrat Fatemeh was to the Prophet both like a daughter and like a mother, because when Khadija died in those early years, Fatemeh was the only one who took care of his father on all those hard years. But despite all the love and care that they had for each other, and all the Sahaba or those who converted to Islam, or the friends, and everybody knew of their love, but unfortunately she was killed quite early when she was 18 years old, and about 2 or 3 months after Prophet's death. And the story of her martyrdom is both too cruel and interesting, and it's a bit complicated. But in short, she was killed because after Prophet's death, Prophet had said that Imam Ali alayhi salam is going to be his heir and successor. But immediately when he died and Imam Ali alayhi salam was busy burying him, some of the Muslims, Umar and Abu Bakr, they were jealous of Imam Ali, and they thought, why should he be a successor while we are present and we are older than him? So they plotted against him, and while Imam Ali was busy burying the Prophet, they assigned themselves and as successors of the Prophet, and they gathered other people and Muslims and told them that Prophet has made us his successor. And people also who weren't much aware of what was going on and the intentions, they proved them and they accepted them as the next caliphs and successors. So from here on, Muslims were divided into 2 sects: the Shiites, who believed Imam Ali was the real successor because Prophet himself had said so, and the Sunnis, who accepted Umar and Abu Bakr as the next caliphs and successors. And this caused so many hostilities among them. And when Umar and Abu Bakr became caliphs, of course, first Abu Bakr became caliph and then Umar. So when Abu Bakr became caliph and the new ruler, they started gathering signatures and approvals from other Muslims and people for their rulership and caliphate. And about 2 months or so after Prophet's death, in the meantime, they had tried their best and they had struggled so much to get Imam Ali's approval as well, but Imam Ali would not consent to it because he knew that what Prophet had said and had willed. So on that specific day that Hadhrat Fatemeh was killed, they attacked his house, Imam Ali's house, while Imam Ali was inside the house with his sons and children and Hadhrat Fatemeh, of course. And when they knocked on the door, and Umar had ordered that if they do not consent to this approval, burn down the house while they are inside it. So when Fatimah came to open the door, they set fire to the door and pushed the door while Fatimah was behind it. So this hard knock on her, and the burning of the door caused her severe injuries, which resulted in her death. Afterwards, although Umar and Abu Bakr regretted what they had done, but still they couldn't mend the things, and this martyrdom was always considered as a failure of their rulership. Of course, Hazrat Fatimah's life and the incidents that happened during her lifetime are much more than this short clip. I will talk about those incidents later in different videos, because each video should be dedicated to one of the incidents, because they are so complicated and they're so extensive. But this was just a short biography to let you know that Hazrat Fatemeh is known actually among Muslims as the mother of the Imams, because all the Imams are descendants and children of her and Imam Ali alayhi salam.